Hey, Michael. First off, that catch in right field early in the game, is that one that just off the bat you thought you had it the whole way, or what? Can you kind of take us through that play?
Yeah, I got a good jump on it. You know, I felt like it was low enough that I was going to have a chance to get there, and it was kind of top spinning a little bit. So, I mean, it was right over the top of my head, which allowed me to get back to the fence, and I took a little quick glance to see where I was at, and I thought I was actually closer to the fence. So that's why I kind of fell down, onto the little padding there. But yeah, I mean, I think when the ball went up, I felt like it was a ball I could catch and that I needed to catch. Because like I said, when Jake is on the mound, there may be one or two barreled balls that go up, and you want to go make those plays for him. So, those are the big plays with Jake on the mound.
To that end, regardless of how serious or mild this little injury thing for Jake winds up being, what is kind of just the emotional roller coaster when a guy of his ability and his importance to this team leaves with the trainer?
Yeah, I mean, it's we're hoping for the best. I mean, Jake's very careful. He's not gonna pitch on anything that doesn't feel right. He's a really tough guy as well. He's strong. He's built well. We don't know anything at this point, so it doesn't make any sense to speculate what could be going on. But obviously, we don't like to see him leave the game early. Nobody does, and so we're hoping he's doing well. We'll get some answers soon, and we'll see him back out there soon enough. But yeah, it's definitely not ideal to see our ace go down in the middle of the game with our bullpen, stretched the way that they have been over the past couple games. It's definitely not ideal, but like you've seen, we'll find a way to win one way or another.
Thank you.
Joe from Pix 11, your line's open.
Hey, Mike, you just mentioned the bullpen there. I'm curious, just in this game and in this series, what you saw from them and what you make of that performance and what it does for your team.
I mean, I've seen guys come into tough situations. Miguel Castro coming in when Jake went down, not having a lot of time to get warm, had a little bit of an issue with his command early. And just having grit, having the ability to slow it down and make some pitches and pull it together, get back into the zone and trust his stuff. I think the defense played well behind these guys as well over the past couple days. But I think we have the arms, we have faith in pretty much everyone that's in the bullpen to be able to get the job done in a high leverage situation. And they're, pretty much all the situations these guys came into over this series were you could argue high leverage. Those guys over there have some dudes that can really swing the bat. And like I said earlier, we haven't been putting up a lot of runs, to make sure that there's, great space in between us and them. So, I think top to bottom, these guys have really they've pitched a lot. They've thrown a lot of pitches, but they've done a really, really good job of just keeping us in the ball game and keeping us ahead.
Your next question comes from Ed Coleman.
Hey, Mike. When you've slumped and you come out of it like you are right now, it always seems to be preceded by a lot of walks. And I just wondered whether that's a trigger for you to have the patience, for them to come into the zone a little bit more for you.
Yeah. Well, I think, a few things there is when I slump, I tend to be swinging outside the zone a little bit more. I may be moving towards the pitcher a little bit too much. I'm speeding up the ball. I'm getting out on my front side. I'm not balanced. So I try to just make sure that I'm in a balanced position and that I'm swinging at strikes before, I kind of shrink the zone a little bit to make sure I'm not swinging at pitchers' pitches. I'm swinging at my pitch, and I'm waiting for something that I can really do damage with. And I've done a good job of that over the past week or so. I think I've told you guys a few times. We're almost there. We're getting there. But again, I'm not satisfied with where we're at right now personally. And I think there's a lot of guys that aren't satisfied. I mean, it's very early. It's cold. The ball's not flying, and so I think you'll see a lot of guys start to turn the corner here when the weather turns, and as we start to kind of figure out what's been going on over the past 30 games or so.
Mike Puma, you're up.
Mike, it's been less than a week since the changes. I'm just wondering, though, if you've seen any difference in the hitting philosophy over the last, whatever it is, 4, 5, 6 games.
In the hitting philosophy, I think more or less it's very similar. Each guy goes up there with a plan. A lot of guys do their own homework. And go up there with the plan that they've studied. I think overall, the big thing that Hugh and Kevin brought to our attention is that we were one of the top teams in chase and swinging outside the zone, and that was one of the big things that they came in saying, let's just shrink the zone a little bit. Let's make sure that we're getting out on pitches that are in the zone. Or we're getting hits, we're swinging the bat at pitches that are in the zone. And that's not to say that Chile and Slate were not, aware of that as well and on their way to bringing that to our attention. But, I will say that's the only thing that I could probably say they really brought in. Other than that, these guys are here to work. They're here to help us every single day. They're doing a great job coming into, the middle of the season, the early part of the season. And, we miss our guys. We miss Chile and Slate. But, this is baseball. This is a business. And the change was made, and we got to move forward. So, I think it is what it is. And we're starting to swing the bats a little bit better.
Yeah, you've been scoring enough runs to win. You probably feel that there's still a breakout ahead here, though, right?
Absolutely. I mean, no one has really hit that hot streak that we know each of our guys is capable of. Maybe Nimmo in the very early part of the season, he was locked in. We expect him to come back and do the same things he was doing when he's healthy. But I mean, top to bottom, all our guys have the ability to change the game, to go 4 for 4, to hit a couple homers. I mean, those are the kinds of things that we're looking forward to seeing, and we feel like it could be any one of our 9 guys out there at any given day. So I think that time is coming, but. We just haven't gotten there yet. So, we'll see when that happens.
Thank you.
Jake Steiner, you're up next.
Hey, Michael, I just wanted to quickly ask about the play in the 5th inning, the ball that fell between you and Kevin. Just curious, I don't know if you guys could hear each other on that play or if you're talking through what happened and what happened with Kevin after.
That was just a situation. The ball split us perfectly. Neither of us really wants to call it if we don't know for sure that we're going to get there. So, last thing you want is both of us calling it when we're not going to get there, the ball falls. I did end up calling it really, really, really late. I never heard him call it. And obviously we both kind of dove at the same time. His head hit my calf, and it hit it pretty hard, and I could tell that, by the way it felt to me, that it would probably shake him up pretty good. And so when I threw the ball in, he was missing a lens on one of his glasses. He was definitely shaken up. And, anything with the head, you want to bring the trainers out there. And, first thing he said to me was just, let me get up. And I asked him if he was sure, if he wanted to get up. He said, yeah, he was fine. And I think he even cracked a joke to one of the trainers. He said, what happened? Did we catch the ball? And, what inning is it? And he was just messing with him. He said, I'm just playing. He knew exactly what was going on. So Kevin's obviously a very, very tough guy. He's a grinder. That's been his reputation throughout his entire career. He stayed out there. I know the trainers are looking at him now, but he's in good spirits, and he's completely normal. So wish we could have gotten to that ball, but I think it was just it just kind of split us perfectly there.
Michael, your final questions from Rich Catino.
Michael, you guys have played well here at Citi Field. I think your record's 9-4 in this season, and that's one of the better records in baseball. And like you said, the hitting hasn't come to where you want it to be yet. Is a big part of that reason your rotation and your bullpen, which if teams are behind, it's a tough road to hoe for an opponent.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we owe, really, I think we hit well enough this series, but for the bullpen to come in after Peterson not having his best stuff the first day, and a day with an opener with Tommy and Lucchese yesterday, and then obviously what happened with Jake today, those guys are they're lights out. They really have done a great job, and we owe a big part of this sweep to those guys. They've been good all year. Really picking us up, and so we're looking forward to, as hitters, putting a bunch of runs on the board, taking some pressure off those guys, giving them a break, and making sure that they get the rest that they need. So we'll see. We're gonna rest up, come back and play Baltimore, and then get on the road. Hopefully, the bats will come alive. When Baltimore comes to town.